I'm here with Max Snyder with Prime Lending, aka the Grinch. We're here at Narrow Path in downtown Loveland, just discussing the state of the market and what we're seeing right now with buyers and the state of the real estate market. So I think one of the biggest concerns I'm hearing from buyers today is just affordability in general. A lot of buyers are hoping to see prices either come down or interest rates come down. Based off your expertise, what are experts saying on what we think rates are going to do in the future? And I can discuss pricing a little bit. Pricing is essentially supply and demand. Right now, we've been dealing with systemically low supply due to low building over the last decade. We still have a population of home buyers, millennials that are at peak home buying age. I don't foresee demand subsiding anytime soon, and just due to the fact that right now demand still exceeds supply. We're seeing house pricing staying stable. If anything, they just kind of come back to normal appreciation of about 3 to 5%. Now, of course, the double-digit appreciation we're seeing post-pandemic has subsided some with the increase in interest rates, but I don't foresee prices coming down anytime soon just due to the nature of supply-demand dynamics. But maybe you can speak to us from an interest rate perspective. Right now, at the time of filming this, obviously it's the holiday season. We're hovering around 7%, plus minus depending on your individual credit score. But what do you tell buyers today that have this apprehension or concern with interest rates and affordability right now?
And I'll take the mask off because I know Jeff works with buyers and sellers in Whoville, and he wouldn't want to scare that market. So as far as affordability, it is a big concern. You also hear people talk about, like you alluded to, will there be a crash in 2024? We're filming this at the end of 2023. So the simplified storylines of 2023 were rising interest rates and still steady appreciation, not the same levels as 2020, 2021, and some of 2022. Mortgage rates have the strongest correlation to inflation. Inflation's starting to subside. That's why we saw the Federal Reserve raise the Fed funds rate for multiple meetings in a row over the course of the past year, with the goal of combating inflation and rates going down. So if that happens into this coming year, prices were going up despite rates going up. If rates go down, imagine the number of buyers that may come off the sidelines amidst a backdrop of still low inventory, because so many sellers have low inventory in the 2s, 3s, 4s of the past several years. There's a good or a high probability that we're going to see increased appreciation over the next few years. So as far as affordability is concerned, it's actually a window of opportunity right now for those folks who know on a scale of 1 to 10 they're going to heavily consider buying within the next couple of years, because if they buy now with a little less competition at not a lower price, but maybe a lower price than it could be, then they're actually getting in, and then they may have the opportunity to refinance over the coming years when rates go lower. So as we say, your forever home doesn't have to be your forever loan. Date the house, marry the rate, all these marketing terms you hear.
Yeah.
These are real things that can be applied to people's situation. And maybe now is the time to buy for those that are able to afford the rate, don't love it, but know that the future could hold higher prices. Even if the rates go lower, those things might negate each other, along with people having to go against more competition when they make offers on houses over the coming years if rates are lower.
No, I agree. Obviously, there's a window of opportunity to be able to take advantage of locking in today's prices before they continue to increase. And as long as you can afford the current mortgage, you look at interest rates, you talk with a loan officer to determine what's comfortable for you as far as the monthly payment is concerned. And if you can make it work, then it's, again, better to lock in today's prices, as knowing that they're likely going to increase. And if rates do come down in the future, then you can always refinance and get a better rate. At least you can afford today's mortgage, as long as you've ran the numbers and you feel comfortable with the payment at today's rates. You always have to pay to live somewhere. Even if you're renting, I always tell prospective buyers, you're still paying a mortgage. It's not your own. You're paying down your landlord's mortgage. So it's better to establish equity in yourself and getting your own mortgage, so long as you can afford it. Again, you can run the numbers with the loan officer. There's a lot of programs out there that buyers can benefit from that can help ease the pain, and especially being an entry-level home. There's a lot of different programs out there: down payment assistance, FHA is 3.5% down, VA could be 0% down, USDA is another 0% down loan program. So these things are options you can discuss with your loan officer on ways you can try and make home purchasing a possibility for you if you're considering it. What else you might want to bring up for the market that we're seeing?
maybe less so the market and just the general environment that we're in, even when speaking with your neighbors, family members, seeing news media headlines, okay? People might fear the Grinch, but is that fear merited? People may fear their potential real estate decision, but is that fear merited? In the case of news media headlines, it clouds the clarity. So by talking to real estate professionals, it's not for everybody, but if you're looking to make a real estate decision, even if it's to sell or to buy over the coming year or so, it makes sense to have those conversations to gain more confidence and clarity, because they're, the media is in the business of getting clicks and we're in the business of providing clarity. So if you could see a headline that supports any one of the things Jeff and I talked about, or could support the contrary.
One of the things I find for new to be home buyers or prospective home buyers that currently rent, they're a little apprehensive about getting the credit pulled. They're worried about how it might affect their credit score. What would you recommend for those people who are just apprehensive about getting the credit pulled and starting the process of talking with a loan officer?
Yeah, they can get into the nuances of it by talking to a loan officer and actually create a concrete game plan if they need to improve it. But one of the things you can check on annualcreditreport.com, you can get a free report. This is your FICO score, because many of the websites are showing your Vantage score, which can actually show you a dramatically different score than we use for mortgage.
So when you say Vantage, what does that mean for the common person, like Credit Karma, those websites?
Exactly. Most of those websites are using a Vantage score. They're drawing from the same three bureaus, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, but they're using a different equation to output the scores to you.
Which is a different equation than what a mortgage lender would use.
Exactly, different than the FICO score that mortgage lenders are required to use. So you can see a disparity, not always, and those sites are still good for seeing trends in your score. But you can go to annualcreditreport.com to see your FICO. Additionally, the two biggest factors for your credit score are on-time payments. You can't control the past, but you can always control moving forward. And keeping your credit score, your balance is low as a percent of your limits on credit cards. So if you have a $1,000 limit, being below 50% balance is good. Being below 30% balance is better. And being below 10% is optimal. Being between 0 and 10%. Those are the two biggest things that affect scores.
So paying down debt balances, and also you can even ask for line increases that might help. I always recommend just talking to a loan officer. They can be a guide and reference resource for you. Again, a lot of people are apprehensive about talking to a loan officer, but it doesn't cost anything. A loan officer just wants to earn their business and provide value up front so that you use them when it comes time to apply for a mortgage. So again, use them as a resource. They have tools and software that can help recommend, hey, pay down this card by this much and your score's going to increase by this much. In some instances, might be able to even remove some blemishes historically that can help boost score. But again, at the end of the day, they're just going to be a guidance and a resource to help point you in the right direction, that can help better prepare you to get a mortgage, if not now, sometime in the future. So don't be afraid to talk to a loan officer. I know your information is going to be below. If you want to run anything by me, feel free to reach out to me directly. My information will be below. I guess that's pretty much it, unless you have anything else to add.
Nothing else to add. Otherwise, we'll hope to hear from you soon.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.